Hello and welcome back to the Spellcorp Industrial Complex, where today a lot has changed. I've been working hard at work here. As you might see behind me, there's definitely some improvements. Uh-oh, the water's in the way. How about we come up high for a big sky-high view? Look at that. Oh my goodness. That's right, everybody. I've done it. I've finished. Well, I can't say I finished the whole build. That would be a lie. But the title might say I did, so forgive me if the title lies a little. I just wanted to get you in here because I've gotten the main skeleton of our build done. Look at this. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I love it. Lots going on here. Lots going on. As you'll see, if you remember from the rough draft, I had the whole word Spellcorp International written up on the side. I couldn't fit it. I couldn't fit the whole word. Especially at the scale of the letters. I kind of wanted it just wasn't going to work. Even with a smaller scale of letters, it wasn't big enough. And that's okay. That's okay because I like this. I think this looks really good. These are actually just framed blocks. They're framed blocks kind of like flat against the wall, so they're a little narrower, and then the slab corners and things to give it a bit more curvature. There's some lights on them, so this looks really nice at night. Lots of decoration and detail work isn't done yet. I just wanted to get kind of the main frame done so that I have something to go off of. But there's still lots of kind of the shading and things, these different bricks that I want to add throughout to add some more texture to it. But for now, this is pretty nice. We got these two little roof sections here with our air vents. Very beautiful. I love these. Big fan. I found these little mob fans from Mob Grinding Utils. They look pretty good. They're not working, and I think maybe if you power them, they might appear on, and they might lift you up and stuff, which could honestly kind of be fun to play around with, but at the moment, we don't have that. I got a little helipad here for when my helicopter arrives. We don't have a helicopter at the moment either, but that's nice. These are going to be two roof access points, so you'll be able to actually get inside from here as well. There's a similar one on the other side. It doesn't have the helipad. I'll just show you that quick, too. Yeah, kind of similar thing, just some vents and stuff, but we got this beautiful curved roof here using framed blocks all the way around to try to create nice, a bit of a rounded curve. It's not perfect, but it's certainly better than if I just used raw blocks. And man, I love this. I love this. Let's go inside. Let's go inside. Let's take a look. I'll show you around, okay? Oh boy, would you look at that? It's empty still. I haven't worked on this. This is what I'm working on next today. I want some stuff done in the lobby, and I want to work on an elevator because I think those are fun little projects that I'll enjoy today. Because I've spent a lot of time working on this whole building the past couple of days here, grinding away. But what else has changed? Let's see. This is all pretty similar. I moved our ore processing setup, okay, over from that warehouse way over there to here because that area was just so laggy, it was hard to go to. And it's way, way nicer here. And I've upgraded all of these, okay? So these have 8 speed upgrades, 8 energy upgrades in every single one of these. So it processes ores really fast. Let me grab some, we can show you. How about bunch of aluminum ore? Sure, why not? Watch this, okay? We're going to throw all this aluminum ore in here, and we're going to get 3 times ore processing. Look at that. Holy smokes, it's going through. It's clumping it up. It's crushing it up like crazy. It's enriching it. It's smelting it. And we're getting so much aluminum. Look at that, 40 already. This goes crazy fast. The only thing next to do would be to add automated imports and exports to our system so that it's automatically, anytime we put ores in the system, they get pumped right into here. That's pretty easy to hook up with AE2, right? I can just have a couple cables. I just haven't done it at the moment. So nothing to worry about there at the minute. That's fine. What else? Nothing too crazy around here. Well, I mean, one problem is those are using a lot of power. These machines, they use a lot of power. So I'll actually take you over to the rest of the industrial complex for now. Brace yourself for some lag. It's actually maybe a little less laggy over here. I don't know. It's still pretty terrible. It's to the point where, unfortunately, it's kind of unworkable over here. I mean, at least on camera. I can spend some time over here when I'm not recording, but it's pretty brutal how laggy it is, and it's sad because I wanted to do way more over here. I wanted a more complex network of things, but it doesn't work out that way, unfortunately. What did I do? Well, I upgraded our reactor a little bit, made it a bit bigger. It is not an efficient reactor at all. It's using like 2.5 millibuckets a tick. That's a pretty significant amount. But we're still making more uranium than we're using, it looks like. This is at about 9K earlier when I was checking. So it is going up, but we're producing way more power. Before, we were only making about, I think, 3 or 4K RF per tick. Now we're making 14K, so almost triple or something that we're making. It's just very simple. It's just 9 control rods, bunch of things. There's no coolant, nothing going on with it. We're making a whole ton of cyanide ingots. I'll actually take these back right now just to keep it empty. We should eventually look at maybe getting a bigger reactor, you know, like the name says, and a turbine, but play around with that another point. Everything's still kind of working around here, though. Our truck still goes off whenever I need stone. Our garbage truck still comes out every couple of days, you know. I'd like to come back here and work on some more, but I'm just afraid. For video, it's unfortunate because it's very cool over here. I love this area, you know. We spent a lot of time here, but it's just really laggy, and it's just it's not good for video. I hate how it looks when it's so stuttery. The performance is just not fun. So, well, I mean, but I guess that's part of being a CEO, right? I want to extrapolate myself from that side of the business and do the real man's work over here. What else is new for me at the industrial complex while I've been away? Well, I did some more playing around with this setup over here, right? We messed around with some of this last episode. We got the skeleton spawner swapped in for now because I needed bone blocks. So I got this neat little setup here where it's pulling all the items out of the mob farm here. And they get put into this barrel, and this is a diamond barrel. I've learned some stuff, okay? If you haven't seen it, I've been playing All the Mods 9 to the Sky. Brand new mod pack. I've been playing it on Twitch over at twitch.tv/spellitoutloud. Come join me there. I'm going to try to be live at least once a week for the time being. Having a little bit of fun on a different mod pack, so come check it out. But I've learned some things from that, okay? One of those things being these barrels from Sophisticated Storage, you can put the upgrades in, and you can actually do a lot of cool stuff. You can put voids straight into barrels, and there's chests as well, not just barrels, but you can also do stack upgrades. So the way I have this set up is items are pumping in, and this is terribly loud. I'm going to try to stand a little further away. Items pump in, and we actually have a couple void upgrades set. So these void upgrades will just let us void all the armor and the bows and stuff that are all coming in. Very fancy, very nice. And then the stack upgrades are just a way to store everything. So it's the exact same concept as the backpacks, right? Where we have all these different storage upgrades. It does the exact same thing. So it compacts everything neatly into the barrels here. Fantastic. But what we're doing then is I have this logistical transporter pulling bones and rib bones out into a crafter where we're crafting rib bones into bones into bone meal, and then bone meal into bone blocks, and then sending it straight away to a drawer because I needed bone blocks for this build. We have a lot of bones on the trim and things, so I just needed a nice way to do that, and this has been an amazing way to do that. We're getting tons of stuff. This served me a secondary purpose in that I was doing some enchanting. So look at this 5 million essence. That's so much. I was doing a ton of enchanting, so I was messing around with these machines here. And as you might see, we have some different armor on today. We have a pickaxe and a sword, and these are all the modi. All of these are all the modium tools and armor, because I have a lot of the stuff actually. If you'll remember, we had about 40 something ore just from like mining a little bit in the deep dark, or not the deep dark. What's that's an old mod. What is the new thing? The mining dimension, right? So for all the modium, I have 78. And it initially started because apparently you can use these blocks in the reactors as coolant. And I was trying to do that, but then gave up and made all the modium stuff instead because I decided I want to play around with this enchantment thing. So I gave ourselves some cool enchantments. Nothing too crazy, nothing too special, but I learned these tools and armor, they're indestructible, so I don't have to worry about any durability stuff on them. But it's pretty nice. Just some extra armor and stuff. I figured as CEO of the company, I needed something to look a little more rich and powerful. But that's about it for new stuff, and I guess you can kind of see the rest of this is all very empty, a hollow shell of a building for now. But we'll get some floors in at some point. Today we're going to be working on our big main elevator. We're going to be working on that lobby down below. So, I mean, let's just get right into it. I want to get started on some stuff. I got to have a nice, beautiful base and feel like I'm at home here. What are we starting with here down at the lobby? Well, I've said before, I kind of want this to feel like there's some cool rock walls with maybe some, like, living wall features and like some plants and things. I want to feel pretty lively, kind of cool, naturey, you know? So that's what I'm going to kind of start with here is I want a big rock wall at the back, but it's going to have some rocks, some moss, kind of different stuff like that. So I'm just trying to work out kind of a good size for it. I used some AI to generate an image that I kind of liked, and I'm going to play around with some of the ideas from that. And the first thing it kind of suggested was almost like a big, thick wall out of this dark material, and then having sort of some moss and rocks set into it, almost like a big fireplace, but with moss and rocks instead, kind of set into the middle, and then we can give it some depth and texture using frame blocks, and I thought that was kind of cool. I'm going to play around a little with that, kind of see what we can get going. I found a whole bunch of different moss blocks we can kind of use if we want some different textures in this area. Very, very nice. These are all just chipped moss blocks using chipped. And then what else? We got some different mossy stones I can add kind of in there to give the stone looks. And if we want some other colors, there's kind of these like flowering moss blocks as well that are kind of nice looking. And we can use some of those. I don't know if these are going to be too useful. I don't really want a ton of color because I don't want this to pull all your attention. But I'll play around. I'll tweak some stuff. I'll show you what I come up with, okay? Okay. How are we feeling about this? I think this does a pretty good job. I almost want to make the little sides just at the edges here a slightly darker block or something, just to feel like it's enclosed a little bit more. But this is kind of nice. It's almost maybe too textured for what I was hoping. Like I said, I didn't want it to be the main visual draw. And now because there's so many small bumps and details, it's becoming that a little bit, but I think I'm okay with that at the moment. I can change it later if I don't really like it as I fill in stuff around here, but this is a pretty good start. This is kind of the whole vibe I want to go for. I want stuff like this. I want it to feel slightly robust and, what's the word? Like a bit brutalist with some of the things, but interlaced with some beautiful natural elements and some modern design. So I'm kind of liking this. This is going to be a wall here, and then back here is going to be our elevator, so we can access our elevator from here. It's just a nice little divider to break the space up. So I'm thinking in front of this, we're going to have a round desk, and I think we'll work on that next year. But we'll have a round reception desk with a computer and everything. Maybe it'll have access to our AE system too, with just a little terminal so that we can access stuff nicely from reception. But I want to have a computer craft computer as well, one of these advanced computers, so that we can monitor cool stuff eventually, right? I can hook that up to different networks, and it'll be just a neat little spot for it, I think, as a neat touch of functionality and form. So very nice. Let's get started on kind of a desk here. I'm thinking kind of round, almost like a circle or a semicircle, similar to what we did upstairs. But we're gonna go for a cool white desk design with maybe a dark countertop as well. And then I want like a carpet that rings around it with some plants and stuff, some fake plants on the edge. Give it some more life. So same sort of thing. I'm gonna grab some blocks. I'll show you what we're working with, and then we can try to design something. I can't figure out a perfect way to do what I want, because I don't really have a way of combining the two blocks to make like a surface. I want like a countertop, but I want it to be very thin. And you can do that. I could make like a framed floorboard or something, or a carpet, and just put all that on top. But it doesn't work when I have these little half blocks here. I can't make it just cover this space. So I think we're going to sacrifice that idea for the shape of the desk. As opposed to having a countertop, we'll worry more about the actual structure and how this all looks, because I'd rather it just be a nice, pretty circle than have that countertop. I think that's more important to the vision, for me at least. So we'll play around. I like this so far, and then if we maybe just leave it open at the back. How's this kind of look? I mean, yeah, it looks pretty good. Cool kind of desk like that. And then, so what I was thinking is I kind of wanted, let me see, what kind of moss do I have? Let's grab some of this stuff. I have a few ferns and things to play around with too. I don't really want anything tall. And maybe I'll have to try to find some cool flowers. I haven't really looked. Maybe these green flowers might look kind of nice, but I want to just put a few grassy spots kind of on the ground here and have them lean heavier towards the back, probably. Maybe like that. And then on these, I just want to... Oh, no. Flaw. Okay, you can't place ferns or grass on moss. I thought I could. Maybe you just can't do it because it's chipped moss? Oh, okay. So you can place it on regular moss. So I guess then we're just going to use regular moss as opposed to the chip stuff. That's okay. That's fine. But I want just a little bit of like a couple spots where maybe we throw a grass, fern, a grass, kind of like this. And then we'll wrap it in carpet to close some more of this in. I think that could look pretty nice. And if we're really trying to give this more of a rounded look as well, we can actually go like this and give that a spot there just to curve it a bit more. That kind of looks nice. And then when we do wrap it with the carpet, we'll be able to kind of go half and half and make things a little better. I think there's even like corner ones if we want to get real crazy with it. We don't have to get super crazy, but like for now, right, we could look like this. And that gives it a bit more of a curve. So if we just do this on either side and then wrap the rest of the desk in a nice clean colored carpet, I think that's going to look super cool. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm digging this. This is looking pretty cool. So we got our big circle carpet. I cheated a little. I used some frame slabs and some frame stair things in the corner to give it more curvature, but that looks really good. So we have this nice circular desk, circular carpet, and some of these living things that I want on the side. So I think originally what we had talked about is I talked about having big rock walls that ran this way and then have seating areas all along the windows. I don't really want to do that anymore. I think I want to close off the space a little more, make it feel a little bit tighter. So I think we make similar walls like this, not without less of these beams, but similar like this that run, I don't know, maybe like here along or here along, just to close off the space a little more, make it kind of square and make the seating area a bit smaller so it feels like you're actually in this like nice little waiting room. I think we'll kind of do that and then have a hallway that just branches off down here to go into the elevator, and then maybe hallways here for some backroom stuff around behind here, whatever we may have in these rooms. But I think it'll make it feel a little bit cooler. So yeah, this is pretty nice. So we got some little hidden lights here, and then we can easily add, yeah, our computer and our applied energistic system and whatever else there. It's looking really good. I'm loving this so far. And obviously, if you guys have any ideas for rooms in this building, we obviously are going to have tons and tons of space. Give me them. Give me those ideas. Good, bad, whatever they may be. I want to hear them because I'm going to need some help filling this place up. And I'd love to have your ideas take some space in here as well. It'd be really, really cool. So let me know. Okay. I'm starting to kind of like how this feels. We have a few rocky sections, some cool vertical wood planks, and then a bit of a rock wall here with some moss and stuff on the sides. Lots of frame shapes and things. Make it kind of look like an organic rock face of sorts. So I think we'll just take this whole same thing, mirror it on this side. And then I got to figure out kind of some benches. I want some seating like along here. I think it'll look very nice there. And then, I don't know, we can have whatever else over here. Maybe this is just an open spot. Make it feel like we have so much extra space that we don't even have to use it. But yeah, I'm digging this. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool if we look at it like this. And we got to figure out the ceiling. Originally, I'd kind of like the idea of some small panels and things breaking it up so you can still see the cables. But I think for this reception area, we're actually going to completely go away from that. We might go for a lighter colored ceiling to kind of open it up. Something similar to like this calcite or this sandstone again, just to make it feel a little brighter in here. And then, I don't know, we can have the cable stuff open in other areas. That's fine. But I kind of want to close it off for here. But we have this little archway here. We'll have both one on each side. And then you can come into here. It'll kind of be like two hallways, right? So you can go this way, that way. Our elevator will be here. Our elevator's going to have two doors, I guess, one on either side. And then you can go in and we'll be able to go up it. Oh, there's a little hole there. Got to fix that. Here we are at the Spellcorp office. Let's take a little walk up the stairs. How about it? How don't we? Let me give you a little tour. Oh, baby, look at this. Oh, my goodness. We got our rock walls. I got my couches set up. I got some cute little tables. We added a little bit more livery over here. Some extra couches over here. I'm not too sure about this back wall. I think I kind of want it somewhat empty, but I'm not happy with it as is. We'll change that around as we go, but look at this. We got a nice little feature on the ceiling, a similar circle, the exact same circle, in fact, to match this one down below. Just gives it kind of a cool upward view, and then just some pot lights throughout the ceiling here, just to keep it nice and lit. Light up a bit of the stone at the top. Oh, baby, this looks gorgeous. Now come over here. Look at this. Imagine you're sitting here waiting. Lights hidden behind. Not super well hidden, but we got our couch. We got our little stuff there, little plant. I want more decorations in here, but it's a work in progress. I'm just liking it so far. And we got our little seats for the receptionist. Yeah, I love this so far. This looks really, really good. And with this worked on so heavily today, I can move to my elevator. I can get started on some of this elevator stuff. I'm not too sure how I want to hook this up or how many floors we're going to have, but they're going to have stops at each floor, and we'll be able to just go up. It'll be pretty simple, pretty easy elevator to make. And then we kind of just have to figure out what we want it to look like too. So let's get going on some of that. We'll grab everything we might need. An elevator pulley, and I'm going to need dried kelp. Bada bing, bada boom, elevator pulley. Easy as that. Let's take a look and try to figure out how this works. I did use it at the Rubik's Cube room, but that was a while ago. I don't really remember. So we want to construct a cabin. Redstone contacts facing each other. Contraption controls to select floor. Power it. Right-click it to assemble the elevator. And then they turn into elevator contacts. And display links on any of the contacts can show the current floor of the elevator. Now that's pretty cool, actually. We can have that above the door maybe to connect and show, although I don't know the range on those. But fun stuff to play around with. So let's go up top here and try to get something sorted. Maybe we'll first build it for a couple of floors, and then we can just expand the height after. But it has to fit in this 5x5 shaft. I mean, I guess I could make it a bit bigger if we want. Really, we have what, like a 7 by. If we want it to be square, a 7x7 area to work in. Actually, we don't, because down here is smaller. We have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. An area of like 6 to work in. And I feel like I'd rather it be an odd number than anything. So I guess 5x5 it is. So we know our elevator can only be about yay tall, about 6 blocks, because it has to fit between the floors. We're going to rock, I think, just this eroded sandstone floor. And then each floor has to have one of these contacts set up, right? So that the elevator can hit that floor and connect. And I do want to draw some inspiration from downstairs still. And I think we're going to do a bit of a living wall situation again. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we can use these framed blocks in an elevator build with no real issue. So maybe we'll do some corners like this. And we can set up elevator doors on either side that will open, right? They'll slide open when the elevator's stopped. What else? Well, I want to do a bit of a moss wall again at the back. And we can actually, for the same reasons, we can play around with some of this stuff. If we want to get some cool depths on the wall, I can use varying different types of framed blocks here. So if we use a framed panel, we can go 1 depth, and then we can actually use framed trap doors to get a little thinner. And then framed wall boards to go even thinner, like this. And I think that might look kind of cool if we just add in, I don't know, maybe we throw a rock here, a rock there, and then a couple different moss blocks like that, maybe. And then the back wall inside here is going to have that cool moss pattern, and we can finish it off with a bit of like rock or something at the top. I think that could look pretty cool. So if we just grab ourselves some of this cobbled mossy stuff again and throw it up in there like that, then we can just use these framed wallboards kind of willy-nilly wherever I want and finish it off with some of the other colors from downstairs. So we'll just throw it up like that. And we may have to close off the ceiling slightly differently, I'm not sure. But for the moment, this will look pretty good. A little bit of wood won't hurt us. Yeah, how about that, hey? And then we can have our contraption controls like right just in the center. And then a light in the ceiling. I think that actually, that'll look pretty good, to be honest. And then just the eroded sandstone like this. And throw our light in here. That looks pretty good. That's good enough for me, to be honest. It's got all the kind of features I wanted. So if we just glue this together, hook it up to a pulley, we can give it a try, see if it'll work. Gonna have just a terrible little box for the moment with a water wheel in it to power it. It'll do the job, but I'd actually like to get this swapped over to, what is it called? There is a energized one, an electric motor you can use that'll actually take RF power and convert it into rotational force, and I'd like to use that. I just don't have the stuff to make it right now, and I don't feel like messing around with it too much. But we'll do that. That hooks power up to our pulley. Now what? This contraption was unable to assemble. Oh no. Wait, I had to build that at the height of the elevator. Oh, I have made a severe mistake. Okay, well, we're going to test it out down there then. Okay, that's giving it power. And if we click it now, was then able to assemble. Requires a horizontal redstone contact. So I have to glue everything, right? We glue this whole thing together. Then it'll work. We need the floor as well. Okay, and now, assemble. It assembled. Okay. Let's close all this. Unreachable floors because, well, I mean, we're not going to have functional floors at the moment. Purely because of how I have everything set up. But if we want to come down to this level, we can actually clear the space. Now, there is going to be the one flaw in that there will always be holes in the ground, right? Like, we're not going to be able to cover these unless we get pretty creative with how they replace themselves. Like, the elevator could move out of the way and the block could get filled, but I don't really think that's worth messing around with. But let's test out this elevator, at least to this floor. Floor 0. Gonna take us down. It's very, very slow. We'll speed it all up once we get a real source of power hooked up, but it is moving. And are the doors gonna open when we get to the bottom? I hope so. That would be the best case scenario. They do. I can't get out though. What is wrong? Uh-oh. What's happening there? Is this door broken? Oh, the door just didn't update. Okay. But we can go out. Cool. And can we go back up? And I'll have to mess around and change the floor numbers and things too, but this is going to work pretty good for now. The light messes up when we're inside because it's an entity, but that's okay. Oh, here we are. Door opens. And we're at this floor now. Oh, this is incredible. And then we can add other floors very, very easily. This is amazing. Okay. Absolutely fantastic. I love that. Let's go back. Doors closed? Cool. I don't have time to do it today, but I think in between episodes, I'm going to finish up the elevator shaft. I'll get this going all the way to the top, and maybe I'll start building some floors and things. This side doesn't want to work until I reopen the door. That's a little strange, but we can cover this in, hide all that, and finish it up. Beautiful. Well, 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 thank you for joining me today. That's going to be the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you aren't already, leave a comment down below for any ideas you might have for floors in this wonderful Spellcorp International Headquarters building. I'd love to see what you can think up, and maybe we can get something built. And if you want to catch me live, head over to twitch.tv/spellitoutloud, where I'll be playing some All the Mods 9 to the Sky until we finish that pack up and then maybe move on to something different later. We're generally looking at around 10 to 12 in the morning. CST is when I start the stream, and I'll go for a couple hours usually. So head over there, follow me if you aren't already, and catch one of those. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Love you. Bye. 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 Does anyone want to be my receptionist at the Spellcorp Industrial Complex? Now hiring. I'll pay you in exposure. Thanks. Bye-bye.